Hi, and welcome to 2014 Workforce Expo Expectation. I'm Isabel Eaton, one of the career coaches here at Calhoun Community College, and we want to welcome you to our campus as you have a chance to meet with local business people and really get to talk about not only opportunities here throughout North Alabama, but also how you can reach those opportunities for success. Today, I'm going to share with you some specific instances about soft skills and what those mean. We're going to hear some questions from some of you, and I'm excited to see what those are and how we can share information on those. You're also going to hear from Mike Davis from Torrey, and you're going to hear a great personal story from him and sort of how he got through his personal career pathway and some information about how soft skills apply with him. And finally, we're going to have Caleb Owens, who is one of our career coaches that some of you have met, and he's going to talk to you about some great opportunities we're going to have at the Expo itself. I'd like to start off, we had some questions from our local students, and I want to talk about those and what they do to relate to soft skills. Particularly, I want to talk about what soft skills are. Soft skills are those skills that are not directly related to the job itself. They're not about your experience on machinery. They're not about your ability to be an engineer. It's not how much law school you've had to be an attorney. What a soft skill is your ability to have a great attitude at work. It is your ability to communicate, and it is your personal habits at work. So soft skills are something that everybody needs and that we're all developing right now. So one of the questions that we have came from the Brewer High School Career Tech seniors. And the question they ask is, what, if anything, do you wish you had done differently in high school or college to prepare for your current job? That's a great question, and thank you, Brewer High School. One of the things that I think are most important when I think about soft skills is communication. As a career coach, getting to work with all of you students all the way from freshman year, even with the college students that we work with, the biggest challenge I see for them is direct face-to-face communication. Being able to share your ideas in a way that's both respected and respectful. We will hear from Mr. Davis, and he will tell us about how he picked up some communication skills along the way, especially growing up, having some different experiences, working on a athletic team, working with football. So that really makes a difference. So funny that we talk about communication. Just yesterday, I was at an event on Redstone Arsenal and had an opportunity to meet with some young engineers. These were just graduated from college, 22, 23 years old, and they were designing missiles that actually defend our Army soldiers. So how incredible job at 22 years old that they had the responsibility to create these missiles. And one of our students who were with us said, well, what is the most important thing that you've learned? And I think that student was going to think about an engineering degree or maybe a different software that they had used. And the guy who was project lead there, who was 24 years old, said, the most important thing I've used is communication. And he pointed to the other engineers around him and he said, without my team, we wouldn't be able to get this done. If I couldn't turn and communicate to these folks around me, I wouldn't be able to help soldiers today. I think that shows you how important communication can be within your workforce. You can start now, whether it's simply learning to communicate with your teachers. I tell students all the time, if you're having a hard time in a class, when's the last time you asked your teacher, hey, what can I do to learn more about this? Or, hey, I'm not understanding how we're learning. What can I do to improve my score? That is your first step in the communication process, and you're going to love the results that come simply by asking for help. By sharing your abilities, you're going to see how many great results were there. So if I could give one thing to what do differently in high school and college, it's find opportunities where you can share face-to-face communication, not just texting, not just your emails, but a true face-to-face communication and how you can build that within your team. So the next question we have comes from Danielle Beal out of West Morgan High School. Thank you, Danielle, for your question. And it is, I want to teach English. So my question is for someone on how you deal with all the stress of the paperwork, the lesson plans, and dealing with teenagers. Danielle, that is a great question. And although I don't teach English myself, I can share some information about that, which I've talked to other teachers and even other professionals, and they say the number one way that they deal with stress is their teamwork. Being able to rely on someone else on that team, whether it's an older teacher who may have that experience, whether it's someone who is working with you who can sort of share that ability to talk about the stress, whatever it may be, building a great team is going to lead you to success in any career. Again, going back to that group of engineers that I just met, they were not only talking about teamwork, but communication. And I think that you'll see that those soft skills work hand in hand. They really make a difference if you can not only share that idea, but really get involved in building relationships with people. When you work with people and they can trust you and they know they can count on you, that teamwork is going to lead to success in any career. Our next question comes from Miss Roberts' class out at Hartselle High School. Thank you and hello to Hartselle High School. They want to know what's the hardest part of your job and is there a high stress position? Really great question. I'm going to focus on that hardest part of your job, and I think success there can not only come from that teamwork we talked about, but also adaptability. Adaptability is that ability to keep calm in stressful situations, to be persistent in all situations, the ability to look and say yes to a supervisor and know that you're going to be able to adapt to those situations. Work is not like high school. And college is not like high school. And you're going to face a lot of different situations in the coming years. I would say as you're talking to these employers here at the Workforce Expo, that you ask them about what some of the things they've had to adapt to. What are the changes they've had to relate to? And I think you'll find that when you're facing that stress, sometimes it's that failure to adapt to what's next. So really think about how adaptability is going to be a key soft skill and how you're going to get through that hardest part of your job. So thank you to Ms. Roberts' class from Hartselle High. Our next question comes from Brewer High School Career Tech seniors again, and they ask, do you have any resume and or interview tips that will help me get a job in my chosen field? Thank you again, Brewer High. Y'all had some great questions, and this one I especially like because as a career coach, resume and interviews is one of my favorite things to talk about. I really want to focus on the soft skill of professionalism. I think that's a key soft skill when you're working with your resume and with your interview. Your resume is just, and I tell students this all the time, it is a great snapshot of yourself that you're sending to employers. So if someone had never met you before, are you going to send them a terrible picture of yourself? Are you going to send them one with your no makeup and a bad outfit, or your face doesn't look good? I mean, if I take a selfie, which I've been known to do, and I'm going to look at it and make sure it's the exact one I want before I post it on my Facebook page. So, exact same thing. Your resume is your best selfie. It is how I'm going to advertise myself to someone who's never met me before, and I'm going to put my best foot forward. So, professionalism on my resume is really going to matter. Do I have every word spelled correctly? Have I taken the time to really make sure that it is the same all the way through? If I put the date first in one section, put the date first in the next section. Make sure there's consistency through the resume. And my biggest resume tip is don't have an objective. That's right. No matter what your English teacher has told you, and I'm sorry to tell them that objective is just not going to help you get a job. What's going to help you get a job is, again, putting your best resume foot forward and having great professionalism at the top of that resume. Put all those wonderful skills you want to highlight. Let that employer know right away why you're the perfect candidate for the job. Same goes for interview tips. My biggest interview tip is, again, come in with an attitude of professionalism. Be confident, be straightforward, show that you have that great communication, key soft skill number 1, show that you have that great teamwork, key soft skill number 2, and then really have professionalism in that interview. Look them straight in the eye, give them a big smile, a confident handshake, and you can start practicing those right now at the Workforce Expo. I'd love for you to go up and shake the hand of every person who is there volunteering to speak with you. I think that would be a great opportunity for every student who's coming through. It's a lot of handshakes, but it's a wonderful opportunity for you to learn. The biggest thing we hear from employers with students going out on their first interview is they're not interested in the job. I don't believe for a minute you're not interested in the job. What I believe is that you're doing the classic, I'm embarrassed and I don't really want to talk to a stranger, right? I'm going to drop my voice down. I'm going to look to the side. I'm going to play with my hair. I'm going to do all those things. I have a bad habit, play with my watch. So you're not going to do that. You're going to come to this Workforce Expo and you're going to practice professionalism for your next interview. You're going to give them your best smile, your best confident look, a good handshake, and you're going to let them know that you're ready to be serious about whatever your next step is. Last question we have comes from the Decatur City marketing team. Great group of seniors that are working together, both from Austin High and Decatur High. So thank you for submitting those questions. My favorite question that came from them is if you could give me one suggestion on how to be successful in life in general and in a career, what would it be? Wow, Decatur Schools marketing team. Big stuff. That's a really big question, and I feel like I have so many answers, but the soft skill I really want to apply to that is motivation. You're about to hear a great story of self-motivation from Mr. Davis from Torrey. He's going to talk about decisions he made, and I think that's a great story to listen to. I want to add to that motivation is really that ability to get things done without the influence of others, to really motivate yourself into your own level of success. It is easy right now when you go to school 40 hours a week and every time you go to class or one of your blocks, your teacher's telling you this is what you need to do. When you come home, your mom, your dad, whoever, they're telling you this is what you need to do. Some of you seniors are about to head off to college, and for juniors it comes faster than you know, and you're going to have class maybe 12, maybe 15 hours a week, and no one there to tell you what to do. It's going to be a great, fun, wonderful experience and can be a little scary when you kind of let those hours slip by. There's no one there to tell you to put the video game down. There's no one there to tell you that you need to go ahead and study those vocabulary words. There's no one there to tell you that these are the skills you need to pick up for the step that goes beyond college. Because we remember that we're all going for this education in order to get that great career, in order to have great success. And really, you're building these skills along the way. So if I could say one thing, I would say remember to motivate to that next step and find what that motivation is for you. These soft skills working all together, communication and teamwork, adaptability and professionalism, putting that together with your own motivation, those key skills are really going to help you in any career as well as all the steps between there. So I would encourage you to really start to research these skills. You're going to have a worksheet after this that you can work on to think more about how you can apply these soft skills not only to your career as a student, but your future personal career. I would also encourage you to find all the vendors and talk to them about soft skills. And I look forward to seeing all of you on the Workforce Expo event coming in February.
Hello, my name is Michael Davis. I'm the Senior Manufacturing Manager at Torrey Carbon Fibers in Decatur. I graduated from East Lawrence High School in 1988. That was back when you could still get a good plant job with just a high school education. However, I knew that I wanted to do more than just work in a plant for the rest of my life. So I decided to go to college and get an electrical engineering degree. I also wanted to play college football, and fortunately I did that at Jacksonville State University. In high school, I made good grades, graduated third in my class, and scored high enough on the ACT to attend any college that I wanted to. I had my eyes set on one school and one school only, which was Auburn University. Although Auburn came to watch me play a few games, they did not offer me a scholarship. Without even discussing it with my parents, I decided that they could not afford to pay for me to go to Auburn. So I decided on the school that offered me a scholarship, which was Jacksonville State University. This decision was made solely based on the fact that I wanted to play football and they wanted me to play for them. I didn't even bother to check into the choices that they offered as far as majors or degrees. As it turned out, Jacksonville did not have an engineering major, just pre-engineering. I decided to attend anyway and transfer after 2 years. After my 2 years at Jacksonville, I came home and started working that summer and altered my planned course. I started working at Wolverine Tube in Decatur and liked what I was doing and the money I was making. At that point, I knew that I wanted to work in manufacturing as a career, but also wanted to complete my degree and become a part of management in a manufacturing facility. I worked for a while, went to school off and on, not really focused on finishing school as much as I should have been. After a couple of years, I left Wolverine and went to work at Dish Manufacturing Incorporated, which was my first experience with automation in the manufacturing world. I worked there for 10 months and was hired by Engelhard Corporation in Madison, Alabama. This was my first experience in the chemical industry, and I discovered that this is where I wanted to spend my career, but at a management level. I worked at Engelhard for almost 6 years before moving to Torrey. Once I started working at Torrey, I made up my mind to go back to school and complete my degree, which is in business. Note, this was 8 years after I left Jacksonville State, but I was determined and finally made up my mind to complete what I started. It paid off for me as I was promoted to supervisor, then to manager after I obtained my master's degree, and now I am senior manufacturing manager. This was a long drawn out process and not your typical method, but commitment and hard work has paid off in the end. Had I known what I know now, I would have started out with a business major and completed my degree at Jacksonville State University. But I was under the impression that I had to have a technical type degree to be successful. Education is important, but the proper education for the career of your choice is more important. For the career of my choice, a business degree with a concentration in management was the better degree than an engineering degree. But I was not aware of that at the time. Also, it's important to focus on soft skills and be aware of how they will influence your career, with or without a degree. Two of the most important and most lacking in the workforce today are teamwork and communication. Communication is vital to your success in today's workforce. It is necessary and required for an operation to be safe and successful. Teamwork is also critical for success in today's workforce. Almost all industries rely on strong teams to operate their highly technical operations in today's competitive environment. Both of these soft skills are fading in the upcoming workforce and becoming more of a challenge to develop when we hire new employees. So my advice to you would be to stay in school, make good grades, and focus on these soft skills and try to develop them so that you are ahead of the rest when you enter the workforce.
Hello everyone, my name is Caleb Owens and I'm another career coach from Calhoun Community College, and I'm going to talk to you today about a couple of things. First of all, some opportunities that you have at the Expo to win some great prizes and actually some scholarship opportunities, and also some questions to ask, etiquette, possibly some things to wear to put forth your best impression. First of all though, I do want to say a special thanks to Mr. Mike Davis from Torrey, because he gave an excellent perspective on his career pathway, and it was very unique, very honest, and hopefully you guys could keep hearing the theme that we keep talking about, the soft skills, about the communication, the teamwork, and motivation, because those are very key in getting you to the next step in high school, going to college, or college and beyond, because those are very important. A lot of the things that are tangible, like being able to be good at math or for engineering, or being able to know science for possibly being a doctor, those are really important, but the things that can propel you to be very excellent are the soft skills. And that's why we're talking about them so much, because it's fairly simple if you think about it, but being able to apply them and knowing when to apply them and how to use them can really get you guys to a great spot. All right, so I'm sure you guys are wondering, what prizes can I win? What can I do? I want to win some stuff. That's what I'm going to tell you about. So first of all, hope you like writing, because there's an opportunity for you to write a dream job essay. And basically what that is you write an essay identifying your dream job and what pathway you will take to obtain that job. Just map it out for us, let us know what it is. Now, that essay, this is really important, listen up. It's due by Friday, February the 7th. You can definitely talk to your teacher or your counselors as it refers to how to submit that, but February the 7th is a special date. That's when it's due. Once you're entered, once you do the scholarship, you're entered to win, and it's through Calhoun Community College. You can also talk to your counselor and your teacher about the specific details for that scholarship. So remember, February the 7th, that's when it's due. is for a scholarship. See your counselor and your teacher for more details. Now, soft skills scavenger hunt. This one's definitely pretty cool. Once you get there, you're going to receive a card that's going to list a soft skill and a booth location. Go to the booth, find out what hot job corresponds to your soft skill. Find the career pathway booth and submit your card. And what needs to be on the card should be your name, the hot job, your school, and your contact information, because we got to know how to find you. Now, once you do all that, you are then entered to win, drum roll please, an iPad mini. That's tremendous, okay? So remember that. Make sure you go visit the booth. It'll be a lot of fun. Final thing I want to let you guys know that you have a chance to do is, if you find the Chamber of Commerce at the Career Pathways booth, talk to them, because they'll let you know about the Facebook challenge. They'll let you know how to go find their page and like it. Now, after you do that, one student will be randomly selected from everyone who liked it to win a $50 Target gift card. So that's $50 that you don't have to spend, that you can use at Target, because it's basically free money. And all you have to do is click a button. It's very easy. So keep those opportunities in mind, because we definitely want you guys to get involved and hopefully win some things. Now, we're going to be at a career expo. It's very important to carry yourself in the appropriate way, because there's going to be professionals here, and you definitely want them to take you seriously. Because I know when I talk to people that are in higher rank above me, I want them to know, hey, Caleb's a legit person. He really means business, and he's here to get something done. So we're going to go over some things that you definitely should do and talk about a few things that you definitely should not do. So it's important to know, hey, what question should I ask, or what should I wear? How should I act? Now, first of all, remember this. It's a very short window for them to see you, almost like a selfie in motion, like Isabel referred to. So even if you're the type of person that you're like, sometimes I just can't get it right, or I don't know what to say, be positive. Hey, you don't have to be great for an hour. You just have to be great for about 5 or 6 minutes, right? It's very easy. So when you go up to a booth, instead of asking someone at a booth, hey, what do you do? Or how much money do you make? You can rephrase the questions to get the responses you want. So instead of saying, what do you do? You can ask, hey, what are some of the details of your job? What are some of the day-to-day duties that you encounter every day during the job? Now, that's definitely a way they're saying, hey, they seem interested. They seem like they want to know. And then they might tell you some things, as opposed to just thinking that you walked up unprepared and asking them what the job was. Obviously, money's an important thing, because that's something you guys want to know about. But what you don't want to do is to walk up and say, hey, sir, excuse me, how much money do you make? Because first of all, that's rude. And second of all, it's okay that you want to know, but there's definitely a way to ask that question. So definitely an appropriate way to ask would be, excuse me, what's an average starting salary for someone in an entry-level position at this job? Because A, whenever you start, whenever that may be, you're going to be an entry level, right? You're going to be just starting. And B, that's really uniform. It's across the board, and it's okay for them to tell you that, as opposed to what they personally make, because it may not be the same as an entry level. So keep that in mind. Also, ask them, since they have experience in the field, ask them, what's the typical educational background for somebody in this field? Or you can even go so far as to ask them, hey, excuse me, what classes would you recommend that I take leading up to get me where I want to be? Because some from personal experience, or from them making mistakes, or definitely having some triumphs, they can tell you, hey, definitely take this class, it prepared me. Or, you know what, I took this class, didn't really need it, wasn't something that prepared me. So keep that in mind in your repertoire of questions to ask. Also, you guys should really ask about the hours that they work. That kind of has to do with the day-to-day task, because you'll kind of want to know, is it, maybe a 8 in the morning till 5 at night, or is it generally a night shift during the middle of the day? Maybe it varies. These are really some good questions, because for them, they're typically going to ask some of you guys the same things over and over. So being prepared to ask them some certain things, that'll set you up to put you in a great position. Also, like I said, you want to listen to some things they ask you. A really easy trick for you to use, you're going to be there with a lot of your friends. You're going to be kind of passing by the same people. So if you're standing in line and you're waiting, instead of just looking down, or maybe just texting if you have your phone, not paying attention, maybe listen up a little bit. Try to be alert to hear some of the questions that some of these professionals may ask your classmates. Because once you walk up, instead of being like, oh no, I wonder what they're going to ask me, I wonder what they're going to say, if you've already heard the questions that they're going to ask your classmates, 9 times out of 10, if both questions they ask you aren't the same, one of them may be. So you can already have a leg up, and you're like, oh, they just asked them why they would be interested in the position. So when they ask you, you can already be thinking of an answer. And that's not cheating. That's just taking advantage of an opportunity from exactly where you are. Another question that's very important to ask is, with this job, is there any additional training or additional skills or what important soft skills would be necessary, because for some jobs, by the time you get there, you've already got everything you need. They don't need to train you anymore. But for some, they'll bring you on, but it's an ongoing process of more training and more learning, which is fine, but it's important for you to ask them. And just like we talked about the soft skills, ask them, what are some soft skills that you as an employer value from employees? And that's a really great question to ask, because not only are they going to tell you what soft skills, but they're going to tell you why they value them. So you can kind of start thinking of them. And if you kind of have some of those qualities, that's great. And if not, and if you're like, that's something I need to get better at, well, you're in the perfect position, because I would rather you know right now that you need to work on communication or teamwork or being more conscientious than 10 years down the road when you're on the job and you lose it because you didn't know. But that's why we're here, just to help you get where you need to be and know before you make a mistake, maybe you can avoid that. Now, about your clothes, this is really important, but I don't want you guys to stress out over it. Fellas, I'm not asking you to wear a three-piece suit, okay? I just kind of want you to think of it in the idea of whatever you normally wear to school, let's think about maybe dressing just a little bit better. So if you normally wear a t-shirt and some jeans, hey, why don't you think about maybe this day wearing some khakis, maybe wearing a polo. You don't have to wear a tie. If you put on a collared shirt every now and then, hey, it wouldn't hurt you to put on a tie. It wouldn't hurt anybody at all. But like I just said, they're having a window to look at you guys, and it's a very short time. So you want to put your best foot forward. For ladies, you want to be very casual. You want to look nice. For guys, it's kind of simple, because it's either I'm going to wear a tie or I'm not going to wear a tie. I'm going to have on khakis or I'm going to have on jeans. We really don't have a lot of leeway. It just depends on how we're going to mix it up. But for you guys have a lot of different options, because I'm not even going to get into all the different choices y'all have. Now, you can talk to your teachers, because I'm sure they can give you some great tips on some good things to wear, more so than I can. But if you guys take all these things into consideration and just think about putting your best foot forward, thinking of some really great questions to ask, being alert, being ready to listen to their questions, I think when you're at the Expo, you'll give yourself a great opportunity to have the best experience, because just by being prepared. Nothing major, nothing very complicated, just being prepared and taking advantage of the opportunity. And you get a chance to win prizes. So if anything, hey, let's participate so I can get something out of this. But I think it'll be a great opportunity, and we're looking forward to seeing everybody there. So see you guys there.